Hi guys, so it's currently 7 o'clock. I don't even think it's daylight out here, but I'm going. So I'm finally going to record my whole route to one of my classes. And it's not as windy today. It's about 31 degrees, I think, and it doesn't feel like it, but that's what the weather says. It's dark-ish, I think. I don't know, but I don't think the sun's up because it's kind of cold. So I'm just going to start walking. Once again, I followed these rocks all the way around on my left, and I showed this part the other day, so I'm gonna kind of like just not talk as much when I'm walking this because I already showed you this yesterday with the wind. But it will be interesting to see if the wind has actually moved anything, because it was blowing the signs around and everything yesterday, so we're gonna see. These leaves kind of got not necessarily blown around, but they're thicker. I might have to stop recording to put gloves on because my hands are starting to get a little cold. They have turned numb before out here, and that's a problem because I had to read the elevator buttons, so I literally have to stand there and just warm up my fingers before I can actually use the elevator. People will look at me like I'm weird. So they are doing a lot of construction, so I don't know if you guys can hear all the construction of it, but there's trucks and cranes, I don't know what else, but all kinds of different construction places and people. Kind of in front of me a little bit, and to my right. Once again, I apologize if you're sighted and you can't see anything because it's dark out here. I might make another one depending on if you let me know if it's too dark for you. Just so you guys can see. It is getting a little bit lighter. I think the sun's coming up, actually. I can see a little bit of light, so I can tell that it's getting lighter. Oops. So I'm actually gonna stop and blow my nose because the cold is really starting to make my nose run from allergies. So I'm gonna... There's like no one on the sidewalk, so it's kind of peaceful. It's pretty nice right now. Alright, so now I can finally show you what I was going to show you yesterday without the wind. Yeah, it's starting to get sunny. So, with these driveways, this one's a little bit difficult because it does kind of curve. So, I line up with this right here. It's a truncated dome, which is like, they put these on streets. Literally, it's an ADA thing, they kind of have to. So it's basically where you know there's a street, so you can literally walk a straight line down the sidewalk, there's a truncated dome, you cross, and then there you go. These are not like that because they're driveways, and some streets don't have them because it just depends on the city. So with this driveway, I line up with this truncated dome, and I put my feet on the curb. My right foot, and then my left foot comes up, lines up next to it, and then, I clear, which... There's really no need to because there's no cars, but that's sort of a cane thing. You just have to do it. Well, you don't have to, but they recommend, and it's just something you do, generally. I do at least. So I'm clearing, make sure, and then I just go, and I count 18 steps, and if I get more than 16, then I turn the wrong way. And if I get 14 or less, then that means I need to trail the curb to the left, and I'll be back on the sidewalk. So here it goes. Okay, so I walked 18 steps, and here's the curb, and Yep, okay, so I made it. I think I did something wrong. Hang on. Hang on. Yeah, so I think I veered wrong, so let me just see. Okay, so I'm gonna get realigned again. Okay, so this is not right here. Okay, so I did something wrong. I'm not really sure exactly what I did, but I'm back on the sidewalk now. I think actually I went too far on the curb, and so that's why I got really disoriented. But I am going the right direction because these rocks right here. So a little bit of whole blindness, orientation. If you get disoriented, just keep walking. You'll eventually figure it out. Not the most convenient device, but it works. So here's another one. There is no truncated dome here. The reason how I know I'm going the right direction is because the car is over there, so that means that I did not turn the wrong way. If I would have turned and went into the street, it may have taken me a few minutes, but I would have figured out that I needed to go to the right and go back on the driveway. So once again, I'm not sure what I did, but I figured it out. So I think, I literally don't think I did anything wrong. I just wasn't thinking about, because sometimes the driveways are really close, so I don't think I was thinking about that. But I managed. So here's another one. These are normally 10 steps across. I don't normally count steps, but for these I do because I can never be sure that I'm actually going to hit the other curb. So, pretty sure people are staring at me, but that's okay. So I line up again, I sweep my cane once across, and then I just go. Once again, I find the curb, and I did veer a little bit, but not too much, so then I step back on the thing, and I keep going. There's more rocks. So this would mean that I'm on my 4th driveway soon. There's 4 driveways I have to cross, and then there's rocks and there's grass again. And I just follow the grass to the side and then I turn. So here's the 4th one. The first one's hard because it angles, so it's really difficult. So there's no cars, I'm just standing here to talk to you guys. Yeah, so the first one is really hard. It angles, so I have to be very careful on how I step. I have gone to the street several times, and I actually did one time, ended up crossing it and then turning back around to cross. It was weird. So I'm gonna cross this one. I'm waiting to see what these cars are gonna do. Okay, they're going, so. Oh, I'm just walking.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
You're welcome.
Alright, so that's my 4th crossing, and then I find this grass here. And the sign, which means that I turn because I could follow the grass line, but I don't want to do that because I want to get back on the boulevard. So I go over here to the left, and I find this drainage pipe thing. And I follow the truncated domes along until it gets to a curve. It's right here. And with this one, it's easy because there is a little crack in the side, the road, so I follow that. So I'm just gonna listen and see if they're gonna stop. Okay, that's not exciting. Okay, so the cars are supposed to stop actually for pedestrians on this specific way. So I'm just gonna go. So I did veer a little bit on that one, but luckily I can feel it whenever it turns, kind of, it like dips down. So now I'm on the median, I just follow this grass, it's 2 lanes, and that car on my right's gonna stop. Maybe sometimes they keep going. So I made it across, then I turn right, and I follow these 6 truncated zones. And I trail the curb, which is, with this side it's fine because I'm on the right, but I haven't on the left before. And it's difficult because people get annoyed, they're like, why are you doing that? I'm like, well, you know, have to. So with this it's difficult too because I'm actually in the road with my cane. I actually sweep a little bit into the road, but that's because it has a different texture and the curb is blended. So I have to do that to make sure I'm on the sidewalk, not in the street, but not too far over, because I have to count truncated domes. That was number 3. I'm between 3 and 4 right now. So I don't know if my camera's steady, actually, I have no idea, but the one that actually asked me if I needed help, people are generally pretty cool about it. It is kind of early in the morning, so like no one's really out here to ask for help, but if I would get lost, I would just call public safety, and they'd be able to help me sometimes. Normally if I wait long enough, someone will actually help me because they're like, hey, why are you standing there, you know? But these people like here that are doing construction, they literally watch me walk every day, so they know that I'm going to be out here this early. And sometimes there's people walking around, they're like, hey, you know, so I never have to worry about like just being stuck with no help. So hopefully in the winter time I'll take advantage of that help more. But if I know what I'm doing, I don't ask for help. I don't accept it. So the problem with buses is they always keep my cane in the street, even when I'm following the curb, and so sometimes they don't. Sometimes they get really close. So there's number 4. Number 5, and I got one more, and luckily I know that I'm on the right one because of this curve. It kind of goes down into it. There's number 6. So I line my feet up straight, which straight for me is not straight for you, and it is kind of difficult because the sidewalk, it does go straight, but once again I don't walk a straight line. So line my feet up and I just go, and the sidewalk actually sounds different from the rest of the pavement. So if I were to veer, 1, I have the grass, and 2, it sounds like a hollow concrete kind of sound. That's because they put these like giant concrete blocks together, so I can actually hear it. It sounds different. And it kind of echoes off the buildings and stuff. So the way my cane hits it, so like right now it's echoing off the building to my right. And I can also hear the fountain. See, there you go, my app says it's sunrise. I can actually feel the sun on my face, so it's starting to rise. Kind of in front of me-ish. And this sidewalk kind of goes down, and then there's fountains in front of me. So right now I'm walking between two buildings and I have to go by the echoes because somebody moved the flower pots again. Most of the time I just have to do this because the echoes. It is kind of difficult sometimes to tell where I am exactly because it's so open. But if I find this wall right here, there's a fountain on my right, and I just listened for that too. For those blind viewers, there is flower pots around the fountain, and I just follow those. I count 2 of those, and then I line up with that one, and then cross or go straight-ish. But they've been moving them, so I don't end up going straight. One time I actually walked around all the way. So I'm there's a wall that goes literally all the way, kind of straight out of the building. That table moved. So I just follow this wall. There are some picnic tables out here. They're like metal, kind of like wicker, I guess, but they're made of metal. They have that like stringy, woven texture, kind of. I don't know if you guys can hear the construction on my right. And my cane echoes off the wall too. It is kind of bad right here whenever it rains because the rain just builds up right here. And now I'm passing a table on my right. There should be a plant coming up. There it is. So these I just have to angle because there's a giant, like, long grass kind of thing. So I have to kind of angle to make sure I'm going on the right path. But that's kind of sloped, so I have something to follow. And I can also hear it on my left. With echolocation, all that stuff, so I can actually hear the plant. And if I go straight, I'm supposed to find this, which is just another plant. So now I'm finding the grass, and there's these signs again, which they told me they were going to take down, which has not happened yet. That's annoying. My cane gets stuck in literally every single one of these. It's a problem. So then this part, I literally pick up my cane and do this, which, sure, I get a lot of people staring at me, but that's how it has to be. So I'm looking for a pole. And I passed it because that's a plant. No, it's not. It's gonna keep going. There it is. So that's a branch, actually, I think that's what it was. If I went too far, I'd find this plant over here. So here's the pole, and I'm going to line up with this pole and put my feet together. I'm going to wait till it's clear which it is because there's no one out here. I'm going to cross, and there's a plant on my right that I'm supposed to hear, and that means I veer away from it. It's like a potted flower plant, kind of. So I hear it on my right, passing a plant, and then I kind of angle. Left, here's some grass and the pole, so I follow this. And there's signs again. So glad I'm close. My hands are starting to turn numb. My cane finger is completely numb. So it means I'm not going to reach for a little bit. That's why I try to get the class early so my hands can have time to warm up. So I'm just following the grass, and there's a drainage grate. And I'm actually not going to the building that I'm following this grass up to. I actually turn here. So I find this building, I find this flower pot, which I'm surprised is still here because we had frost advisories for like the last 3 or 4 days. So, good morning. So I find this building and I line up and I go straight, which I'm gonna wait till she goes. Alright, so I literally just go straight across. If I do veer, there's stuff I can find to make sure I'm on the right path. So actually this tree over here, and these rocks, I find those, make sure I'm on the right path. I did veer, I think that's like a car, I don't know what that is. So anyway, so I keep going, and I'm already 20% battery, that's nuts, okay. Oh well, so I find this, rocks, and pole. I'm gonna check the time actually.
It is 7:19.
That's not bad, 19 minutes, okay. So I get to the door, I literally can't feel my fingers right now. So we're inside the building. Normally I go ahead up, but my fingers are numb, so I can't really feel the buttons. So my right hand is what I read with. I can read with my left, but my right hand is more convenient, and it's really numb. The problem with using gloves is they're so thick that my cane won't work with my, I mean it will work, but it's very difficult to use with my cane and gloves. So I find the elevator buttons. I'm just gonna use my other hand. Yeah, my hand. So the problem with reading is that I have to use both hands, and my fingertips actually turn more numb than the rest of my hand. So right now I'm actually struggling with reading. I don't even, it's main, okay. With this elevator there's only 2 buttons, and I know which button is where just by the memorization. There's only like 2 floors. So the floor I need is the first floor. It's on the all the way to the right. So even if I couldn't read the braille, I would just know. And plus there's carpet up here, so I know that I'm on the right floor. And there's a plant to my right. One of those little house plant things with like a tree. Try not to muffle the camera. I don't know if you guys can still see. So I actually walk slower because I'm videoing. Normally I just get through here. It takes me about 2 minutes to get through this part and 6 to get through the other. I'm just going really slow today because I got turned around. So I just follow this. Once again, I know when to turn just by the sounds it opens up. Sighted people can do this too, just by walking down a hallway. You can literally hear when it opens. So if I angle correctly, I'll hit that door like literally right at the handle. So it's a pretty big deal. It's kind of difficult sometimes if there's a lot of people in there to get lined up. But normally if I hear the stairs to my right, that means I'm doing good, and I just go straight. So now I'm in a hallway, and I had to veer a little bit. That's basically just following the wall. I kind of walk in the middle just because there's rooms on my left and right, and it's just easier if there's a crowd to walk in the middle, because I'm literally going straight. I don't have to find anything left or right yet, so it's okay to walk in the middle here. Now, if there was something, I would trail along that side. I don't recommend trailing on the left, but if I have to, for certain situations, then I do. So right now it's opening up, which means I'm going straight. There's this little threshold thing on the floor. So I find that, which means I'm going straight. I trail on the left. There's supposed to be 2 openings. That's the first one. And there's a change in the flooring on my left. So this right here, another threshold thing. And it's a tile floor. So, and there's this bench. Sorry, voiceover. And then I literally just go straight for about 20 steps, which I'm not counting because sometimes it gets confusing. I can kind of hear a little bit that I need to turn. So that means I'm by the elevators. So now I'm going to try to find the button. So I think it's on this side. Let's see. And it is not, so I'm going to go the other way. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I'm gonna go down. My fingers have kind of warmed up. They're still a little bit tingly, numb. They're actually kind of painful right now. They do kind of hurt a little bit. But that's part of just walking in the cold and being blind. So here's the elevator. Wrong side. Main. Alright, so I sometimes do get on the wrong side for the buttons, but they're never consistent in this building. They're always just random elevators. Yeah, I know, I stopped on Main, then I came back up, but the way I do this class is because it's right across from this elevator, so I just go in. But there is an easier way to get here, it's just I don't use that. So I literally go straight across, and sometimes I will miss the door. That's okay, so I can figure out where I'm going. So let's see. So if I had a dog, I would literally just say find door and just go straight. So here's the doors. And, oops, I just hit the camera with my thing. So I don't have to turn here because literally there's no other way to go. And then I just walk in, and then my chair is literally right here. But that's my recording, and thank you all for watching. I'm gonna figure out how to stop recording now. It is still, it's warmer, my hands are actually doing better, but they're still numb, so I really can't feel, like, I can feel the screen, but that's about it. I can't really feel specifically what I'm actually, like if I were reading, I wouldn't be able to feel anything right now. So, that's my video, and we made it to my class. So, thank you all for watching, and have a good day. So, I'm currently standing outside again. This is about 11 o'clock, so a couple hours later after my video. I wanted to explain to you guys what happened. So I didn't actually turn the wrong way. I was just going straight. I forgot that driveway is really close to the next one, so I must have went way too far over to the left, missed the curb, and then went over to the right, and then I just got a little bit disoriented, but I managed to fix it. It's all good. So I just wanted to add that to my video, and again, thank you all for watching. And that's another problem with blindness. You just have to go, because you might turn in the wrong way, but you still have to just, there's a loud crow. You have to just reorient yourself. So, thank you for watching.